Here's another factoring technique for you. It's called the Po-Shen method. Now make sure you watch this whole video because at the end, there's a big reveal about this method, and I think it's going to shock you. I got several comments about the Po-Shen method, so I want to talk about it in more detail. I'm Mike Lamarzi. I'm a math professor at American University, so I know how math works. This is a method when you're trying to factor a monic quadratic. That's a quadratic of the form x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So the a is equal to 1. The Po-Shen method is named after mathematician Po-Shen Low, and his goal was to find a way of factoring a quadratic without having to guess. Usually you have to find two numbers that multiply together to get c and add together to get that middle term, and he wanted to say, I don't want to have to guess, I want to know the answer right away. And this is how it works. You take that middle term, you change the sign, you divide by 2. So if the middle term is b, you're getting negative b over 2. And then you're adding some unknown u. And to find that u, you just need to solve the equation negative b over 2 squared minus u squared is equal to c. And that will always give you the roots. Let me show you an example. So let's say we have x squared minus 10x minus 24 is equal to 0. 24 has a lot of factors, and if you notice, 4 and 6 give you 10, 12 minus 2 give you 10, so there are a few different options here that maybe if you're guessing you might struggle with. So in this method, you change the sign of the negative 10 and you divide by 2, so you get positive 5. And then we're just solving the equation 5 squared minus u squared is equal to negative 24. But there's only one variable. That's easy to solve. You get u squared is equal to 49, or u is equal to 7. Since it's plus or minus, we don't care if it's positive 7 or negative 7. And now you have your two roots, 5 plus 7, which is 12, and 5 minus 7, which is negative 2. And that's the way the method works. But here's the big reveal. You've already seen this method before, because this method is exactly the quadratic formula. Let me show you why. He's saying the solutions will be negative b over 2 plus or minus u. But what's that u? That u comes from solving the equation negative b over 2 squared minus u squared is equal to c. But when you solve for u squared, you get u squared is equal to b squared over 4 minus c. Getting a common denominator, you get b squared minus 4c over 4. And when you take the square root, you get the square root of b squared minus 4c over 2. But that looks just like the quadratic formula with a equal to 1. So your answer ends up just being negative b over 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4c over 2. That is the quadratic formula. So it's the same method. If you like the Po-Shen method, that's great. You can use it. But just so you know, it is basically the same thing as the quadratic formula. Either way, try it, see if you like it.